Good afternoon, evening, and welcome to the Weekly Byte with Miles and Miles at whenever I upload this o'clock. Today's headlines. Has Control gone mad with Control? Epic vs Apple, the petty battle royale continues. And Nintendo graces us with an indie direct. Stay tuned till the end for a rundown of new releases and our wholesome news story for the day, which includes your favourite little beans, Fall Guys. Earlier this month, 505, publisher of Control, announced that a PS5 upgrade of the game would only be available to those who pick up the new Ultimate Edition of the game, despite the fact that many fans have already purchased the game and all of its DLC. Naturally, this upset players as it is anti-consumer and contradicts what many other titles are doing. For example, CD Projekt Red are offering a free Xbox Series X upgrade for Cyberpunk 2077, stating that gamers should never be forced to purchase the same game twice or pay for upgrades, which is something I'm sure we can all get behind. 505 then attempted to justify why this is not the case with Control. The upgrade path that we are offering is only possible when upgrading from the same version of the game, a statement reads, as we are only doing additional development on Control Ultimate Edition on the next-gen platforms. We are unfortunately unable to offer an upgrade path to existing Control players. We understand how this might upset a number of players, but you will still be able to play the 2019 edition of Control and each expansion on the new platforms. It's understandable that development may be taking place on different hardware, but that still doesn't explain why it cannot be issued to those who support your game. It sounds like they want to profit more so off the additional development, perhaps so that people who have bought the game pre-owned or on a sale don't get a free pass, which is kind of just cruel really, seeing as when the PS5 is likely to cost an arm and a leg at this rate. Make of that what you will. We now head over to our BS correspondent Miles, who is in front of Apple and Epic headquarters for an update on the ongoing feud. Thank you, Miles. Inside here, the fight for children's pocket money and their parents' credit card details ensues, as Epic files lawsuits against Apple and Google for removing Fortnite from their respective mobile app stores. Epic tried to create a somewhat of a backdoor for purchasing cheaper V-Bucks, what we might call a microtransaction, for purchasing totally arbitrary costumes known as skins in the video game Fortnite. Apple and Google deem this a violation of their App Store terms of service and are upset because they would normally receive a 30% cut of purchases made on their platforms. Epic made a mockery of Apple's 1984 commercial with the hashtag #FreeFortnite, in an attempt to rally an army of 12-year-olds who would not understand the reference anyway. Epic continues to claim they are fighting for freedom and a release of the monopoly chokehold that Apple has on the ecosystem of game purchases. Apple then threatened to remove Epic's development rights and tools, including the use of the Unreal Engine on their platform, if something is not resolved by the 28th of August. Epic then filed an injunction to the court, as this could be very detrimental to Epic's business. But who are we kidding? Epic, creators of Fortnite? Whatever the outcome, they have an unfathomable amount of money. Tim Sweeney is sitting at home on his golden toilet, upset that he can no longer run around as John Wick while dropping the kids off at the pool. Instead, he spends his time criticizing Apple for store exclusivity while undermining other storefronts with exclusivity. I guess you could say, that's not very epic. Oh, what a riot. Oh dear. Oh. At the end of the day, there are no good guys or bad guys here, and there are no winners, just losers. Us, the consumers, who have to listen to our corporation parents fighting in the next room after taking our game away, while we wait for them to show us some love and affection, wherein they might someday find common ground and realize that they need us. Thank you, Miles. This marks the third and hopefully the final time that I'll have to re-record the second half of today's news, seeing as the first time my camera cut out completely and the second time my background went to sleep. I'm not even slightly infuriated. Our final headline today, Nintendo's Indie Direct gave us a small insight to more than 20 games coming to Nintendo Switch from small, passionate development teams, including a few ports. I could quite happily sit here and talk extensively about each one, but I suggest you check them out for yourselves. My noteworthy appearances would be Garden Story, Spiritfarer, Bear and Breakfast, and Card Shark. We also received a first-time reveal of a co-op update for Untitled Goose Game, so you can terrorise the village with an accomplice and honk at the terrified young boy who cannot see without his glasses because you tripped him over with ease thanks to your new feathered friend. You bastard. As good as the showcase was, we are still waiting on a fully fledged Nintendo Direct, as every other platform has had their equivalent E3 shows from home. And we have Gamescom coming up this week with no first party news from Nintendo as of yet. We want Metroid Prime 4. Get me pictures of Samus. No, not those pictures. No, stop. And that brings us to our new releases and coming soon segment. Last week, Microsoft actually released some games. Woo! With the arrival of Microsoft Flight Simulator and Battletoads. Surgeon Simulator 2 decided to release a week early on the Epic Games Store. And Spiritfarer also made its debut on all platforms. You can check out my first impressions video on Spiritfarer if you click here maybe, in the channel if you subscribe. At the weekend, we also saw gameplay for Gotham Knights, a cooperative game starring the other members of the Bat family, and a cinematic for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is coming from Arkham series developer Rocksteady, but looks to be a lot more colourful, not just in palette, than their previous outings. It reminded me of a couple of other games, but let's just say I hope it's more Sunset Overdrive than Gotham City Imposters. Slated for 2022, we still have quite a while to wait. And finally, we have our wholesome news for the day. Fall Guys Battle of the Brands is raising thousands of pounds for charity. The hit sensation, non-offensive, wholesome yet rage-inducing Fall Guys has been on everyone's screens for the last few weeks. Not only has it captured gamers' attention with over 100,000 concurrent players on Steam and going free with PlayStation Plus, it has also caught the eye of just about any and every company and brand wanting a slice of success. The adorable chubby beans known as Fall Guys are now universally recognisable in their simplistic forms, and the nature of their costumes makes them easily customisable, which has spawned a plethora of concept costumes created by fans and professionals alike. Many brands and other game developers have approached Mediatonic for collaborations. Published under the ever-savvy Devolver Digital, Fall Guys knew better than to sell out, at least not straight up. They took it upon themselves to let the brands compete for their love in a super wholesome way. How many times am I going to say wholesome in the wholesome news story of the day? Mediatonic proposed a challenge that whoever made the largest donation to special effect in the coming days would win the privilege of having their costumed bean fantasies come true. Many have sat in the top spot, but we are still awaiting a winner. But more importantly, hundreds of thousands of pounds have been raised for special effect who do wonderful work by helping people with disabilities access and play video games with custom-made peripherals and software. I strongly recommend that you check out Special Effects. They are a great cause, and they enable those that they are helping to have adventures that they might not be able to have in real life. And that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for tuning into the Weekly Byte. I've been Miles.
And I've been Miles.
And until next time,
a good morning evening. Good morning, afternoon, good evening, and good night. Good morning, evening. Good afternoon. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Good morning, evening, noon. Good day.